welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new series that I'm going to do. It is going to be r/insane parents, because I actually just despise living, apparently, now. I thought that I would do this because I want my own opinions to be out there on parents that have kids that don't deserve them, or shouldn't have them at all. And the best way to do this, in my opinion, is using r/insane parents, because there are some wild stories on there. And I sometimes read this subreddit whenever I have a reason to be angry, basically. Or I want a reason to be angry. Because some of these stories on here are absolutely wild. And today, I've decided that I'm going to indulge in it a little bit and read some stories that I've found. Now, some of these are absolutely horrible, and they are actually the worst I've read, if that makes sense. And I want to document my own thoughts on it and my own opinions on it, because, you know, I feel like it's good that I get some of my opinions out there about certain things and certain events that happen, and about certain parents, if you can even call them parents, to be honest. So I hope you guys do enjoy this, and if you like it, I can continue doing this. I feel like this might be a fun thing for me to do every now and again, just, you know, to get my opinions out there and that. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you for the first story in a second. So this first story is called Abusive Father, or Abusive Stepfather, and I picked this one out because I saw that this is quite bad, just from the beginning to begin with. So, if we rented my house, we'd have no place to live. He had to bring friend with him to use the oven. What are they? Fuck buddies? I'm not going to argue with you. No, you can just give away everything you have to me. I can't even have any peace and quiet in my own home because you let him come over and just take over the place. If it were his daughter, you would not be bitching. Give him one house obviously isn't enough. I guess I should move out so I can have this one too. Blank, you're being irrational and ridiculous. I'm telling you how I feel. Kitchen trash is overflowing and the sink is full of dishes. Typical me come over, trash things and leave, knowing that someone else will come along and clean up after him. I will be there between 8 and 9 and will clean up and take out the trash. I will get another job to help you more with the bills. I will get things where me doesn't have to come around you. Maybe then you'll be happy. You don't need another job. I never see you now. I'll be happy when I'm dead. I doubt it. Burning in the flames of hell for the next 100 million years would have to be better than living on the same planet with me. Maybe you'll be happy without the burden of having me in your life. I love you. I love you. If you hate my children, though... Okay, so it ends there. That's... Jesus. That is bad. My. That's actually really bad, for a matter of fact. Kind of guilt-tripping, to be honest, and using the old classic of, you'll be happy, or, well, I don't know if it's the you'll be happy I'm dead thing, but it kind of sounds like that, to be honest. And, yikes. It's kind of bad, man. It's guilt-tripping badly as well. And they're saying that basically the OP has basically trashed the house and makes other people deal with their dirty work of leaving sinks and stuff in the leaving plates in the sink, not leaving sinks in the plate. I can't speak today either, apparently. But apparently they leave trash around and the bins overflow and the sink is full of dishes, and apparently OP makes other people do it for them. But judging from what OP says, that's just not true. And he's kind of saying that if I wasn't in your life, then that wouldn't be a problem. Which is really, really sad. And this is his stepdad as well. Apparently his stepdad is abusive. Now, I think this is emotional abuse, judging from the looks of this and what he's been saying. Because the "I'll be happy when I'm dead" thing is definitely emotional abuse. And it seems that OP has children, judging from that last message. So, yikes, man. Good first one. An absolute good golden one to start off with. My. 19F. Financially independent at minimum wage and live an hour away. Still can't escape entitled, addicted mum. Oh, this one's going to be a doozy. Alright, let's see. I desperately need to borrow $100 from you. I'll send it back to you. We are choking and have nothing to drink or eat or anything. I know you don't want to. Any more than I wanted to ask, but I don't know what else to do. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. None of that is my fault and I'm not responsible for any of y'all. I have to work for the money I have to work for the money to pay my own bills and not hand it to you. If the $50 I just gave you can't buy something to drink or eat, then I don't know what to tell you. For 2 days. For 2 people. You're extremely lucky I gave you any at all because I don't have to. Damn. There was a lot I didn't have to do either. I don't have to repay you for taking care of me for 18 years. That was your job as a mother. I don't owe you anything at all. I never said you did. Just blows my mind that family will let family suffer, that's all. If you have no money, that's not my fault nor responsibility. I make enough money for myself and that's it. Okay, blank. We needed a little help. You didn't have to get hateful about it. I'm already having a hard enough time. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Huh. Emotional guilt tripping seems to be a major factor in this one. Oh my god. So, apparently, their mother's addicted to something, according to the OP. And she's young, too. She's not much older than me. That's saying something. Earned enough for herself. Apparently her mother borrowed 50 from her as well. Yikes. Oh, dear. So, her mother's addicted to something, and judging from the sounds of it, her mother needs more money because of the addiction. And supposedly she's putting it as... I could make... Apparently $50 isn't enough for 2 days for 2 people. I could make $50 last an entire week if I was that strong for it. If I needed $50 and something, if I had to borrow $50 from someone, I could make that last a whole week by going for bare necessities. So I'm wondering if she blew that $50 on, I don't know, I can't tell what she's addicted to, so I'm just going to go common thingy and say alcohol. And I'm wondering if she spent it all on alcohol. Because alcohol is not cheap. In America. Well, it's not cheap really anywhere. But it's not cheap in America, so... I'm wondering if she's addicted to alcohol, because it sounds like she desperately needs money to feed the addiction. Either that or she's a drug addict. But, you know. And her daughter's right. If she's making only enough money for herself, then, you know, she shouldn't be given her money at all. And as she says, she's lucky that she did. So, that's awful to deal with. Particularly if your mother is addicted to something and she's always coming to you for money. Yikes. She also lives an hour away as well. That is really unfortunate. $50 for 2 people for 2 days. Yeah, eat ramen, drink tap water, and suck it up. The homeless survive off less than that. Sorry you have to deal with that, OP. For $25, I could eat very well for 2 days. If I shopped at the grocery store, might even be able to afford snacks. Damn. So yeah, it's like, as I said, I could probably survive off $50 for like a week. Like, it's not like that bad. I could survive off $50. You know, yikes. Oh man, I feel bad for Op, considering she's really young as well. Jesus Christ. I haven't had an actual conversation with her in 3 to 4 years. I was at my 2 younger sisters' ball game. The youngest, twins, 11, was sitting with my birth giver and her parents. I was on the bleachers, and I happened to notice that one of the twins' shoes was untied. I made her aware of it, but she was reading. She was reading too. She didn't do it immediately. I forgot about it. After the game, she got up and was starting to run from the gravel to the grass area to fool around waiting on the team to be done with their meeting. I had gotten down from the bleachers, and when I saw that she forgot about the shoe, I lifted my voice to compensate for talking through the bleachers at a kid who was running away from me, focused on going to play. And that interaction sparked this whole series of messages. I wouldn't usually go off on people like this, but I'm having big emotions, and I'm sleep deprived and emotionally exhausted. I'm done taking prim people's shit. There's many years of abuse and neglect, DV, parentification of myself, protecting my abusive oldest sibling and allowing him around his victims and other young children, her and her parents disowning me and no one in her family talking to me. And as I've been going to all 4 girls' ball games, May and June, I've had to see them all and have all of them ignore my existence and look straight through me. Fucking hell. I haven't even got onto the story yet, and that just... Jesus! And that's already bad as is. Oh my. Oh my God. Wow. That's awful. Oh God. Birth giver. Okay, that contact name? It's up there. It's pretty good. You're not her parent. Don't tell sister what to do. That's the first message that she received. Fucking hell. Anything that you anything... I can't even speak anymore. Anything that you've helped with is called being a sister. God gave you the privilege and responsibility to help your younger siblings. Just like I did with my siblings and everyone else who has siblings. Did you almost die giving birth to them? No. Did you spend days upon days in the NICU helping them? No. And neither did your sperm donor. Did you drive them to all of their PT, OT, speech, eye appointments, I can't even say it. Orthotic appointments, etc., to make sure that they grew up to be healthy and have a chance at a normal life? No, and neither did your sperm donor. I know you love the twins, and I know you have to blame someone for all your pain. So I'm guessing I'm the scapegoat. So I guess I'm the... Wait, I read that. I can't even read anymore. Whatever. But you don't yell at them and tell them what to do. And why would anyone want to talk to you when you treat them like trash? But you want acknowledgement? Okay, then. I'll say hello. That's funny, because I'm pretty sure all of those things regularly belong squarely in a parent category. Not to mention the fact that literally every therapist I've seen has said I've acted as a parent to my kids. You constantly told us you weren't just a chauffeur, and yet now you're saying doing that qualifies you as a parent. Ha, that's funny. Doing those things regularly without compensation is nothing short of acting as a parent, and literally every sane, healthy, informed person agrees. My pain? You know nothing about my pain. You almost killed me. You don't care about me. You care about your image and how me being myself and telling people what I went through growing up hurts it. I take great satisfaction in knowing that I'm stronger and have healed enough to recognize I didn't deserve the treatment I got and how insane my childhood was. And how incredibly strong and lucky I am that my self-harm saved me and none of my succeeded. And now I have the most amazing therapist who I trust entirely, who tells me that what I thought is normal isn't normal. It's abuse and neglect, plain and simple. And I'm breaking the generational chain and helping my kids stay safe and healthy. And happy. It didn't say healthy, it said happy. You pretend to care while choosing to do and say things that you know are harmful. No one yelled. I lifted my voice to compensate for the fact that I was talking through the bleachers to a kid who was running away from my direction. And funnily enough, she couldn't have cared less. She stopped, tied her shoe so she wouldn't trip and get hurt, and happily went on her way. The fact you would rather have got her hurt than be reminded to tie her shoe because she forgot says a lot about you. The fact you can't even recognize that you did wrong, and that's because you drove people to places that means you're a great person, is very telling. The bare minimum is not a great person. And why would I talk to you when you have continued to be abusive? I spent 18 years living under your rules, but you don't control me now. And I've always been overly nice and used logical arguments when talking to you despite everything. But I am sleep deprived and emotionally exhausted, so you picked the wrong day to get your panties in a bunch over nothing. Literally both people I did a reality check with about what happened, and your reaction agreed that you're in the wrong and stupid and egotistical for complaining about me making sure she didn't get hurt. But people, I'd love to see how crazy... But please, I can't even read. But please, I'd love to see how crazy people think you are when you misgender me looking like this, Lamau. You and your family decided I mean nothing to you anymore, so why should I change your minds? You're the one who continues to text me whenever you feel good enough about yourself and lie saying you love me. I'm my own person, not an extension of yourself, just like my siblings. But it's clear you haven't learnt that yet, and you never will. Damn. Op being savage. Now, I believe there's some transphobia in there, judging from what she says of, I love to see how crazy people think you are when you misgender me looking like this, Lamau. So, I can't tell if Op's mum's being transphobic or not. Because that would say she is being transphobic. So, the mother's a fucking twat. Just given fact. The mother's a twat. She was abusive to her child. She didn't look after her child. Her child nearly committed. She self-harmed. And yet she also has looked after a lot of her siblings. I usually don't go from people protecting my abusive older sibling and knowing him around his victim. So apparently she also protected the older sibling. Damn. So apparently the oldest sibling, which is an abuser, but I'm not sure. Anyway, continuing on. I pray continually for your health and safety. I pray for your spiritual healing. I only want the very best God has for you. If that makes me a terrible person in your eyes, then so be it. Oh, I'm living my best life without you and your God. No need for any spiritual healing. I'm perfectly good. You aren't terrible. You make terrible decisions and refuse to accept that maybe you're not always correct. Your actions make you a terrible person in the eyes of everyone I know in real life and online who has heard anything about your actions, minus the ones you afford from your church. I have plenty of stories to choose from, and I will never fail to astound my therapist with them. Wow. I cut her off. That's just it. I wouldn't even bother. I just block her number and that. It's just not even worth it. People like this aren't worth it because they are looking for a fight. Because all of this sparked from her raising her voice to her sibling, her sister, the twins, to one of the twins, saying that your shoe's untied. And she raised her voice because of where she was sitting in the bleachers. Now, I don't know what a bleacher is, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But the fact is, all of this sparked from that alone. And the fact is, if this person was so bad and, you know, the worst of the worst, why do you keep texting them? If this person was so bad, wouldn't you want to cut them off and get rid of them from your life? It's when people say that you are the worst, but then they continue to harass you to say that you are the worst. It makes no sense. And I think that's what Ops... And this is what happened. This is what's happening to Op. That her mother keeps saying that she's the worst person, but judging from what Ops said and what Ops typed out and that, yikes, man, what the hell? I think the thing is, I have a decent relationship with my parents. I do. Yeah, there's ups and downs, obviously, because that just happens in any relationship. There will always be ups and downs with your parents or friends or whatever. But the fact is, I got lucky enough that my parents aren't twats. To put it bluntly. People don't get lucky. Some people, not, oh, I say people. Some people don't get lucky and they get some of the worst parents they've ever had. And Op was unlucky. And you can choose your family. I've always been a firm believer that you can choose your family. They might not be blood related, but you can have friends become family because you hang with them more, or they actually treat you with respect, with dignity. something that some parents don't do to their kids. And people like Op's mother, if you can even call him a mother, are the scum of the earth. And they don't deserve kids. And she's got, well, Op, the older brother, or the oldest sibling, I don't know if it's a brother, but the oldest sibling, who's apparently an abuser, the two twins, and then two others, it looks like. So, and she's been disowned from her entire mum side of the family as well. Op has grown a lot, and that's a good thing. Ugh, yikes, man. I had to raise brothers starting from when I was 14. It warms my heart to see you growing while away from that person. Rock on. Yeah. She's growing really well and basically has become a miniature mother to the youngest siblings, judging from the looks of it and sounds of it. I feel really bad for Op. Op doesn't deserve this. It's not normal for older siblings to step in as parents, or at least it shouldn't be. I'm the youngest of 4 and I have 0 memories of my siblings taking care of me, not because they wouldn't, but because our parents always did. I just want to assure you that she isn't wrong for saying you were given a responsibility just for being older. Wow. Unbelievable. Actually unbelievable. I hope you guys did enjoy this. And, you know, I might do this maybe every 2-3 weeks just so you can get, like, my opinions on stuff like this. Because your parents shouldn't be your worst enemy. But for a lot of people in today's society, their parents are actually their worst enemies and cause a lot of the issues with what's going on with them. And I want to discuss this and discuss my thought process behind why this happens, or, you know, like, provide my own opinion on the subject, or, like, perhaps maybe provide where to go if you need help, stuff like that. But also to, like, spread awareness of what is happening to some people in the world, because a lot of this happens behind closed doors and a lot of people don't speak up on it. So in turn, this subreddit's actually a good thing because people can speak up on it and get help from others, because some people in comments and that will guide them to, say, hotlines, for example, if they need to move out of the house, to, like, places that will take you in, stuff like that. Particularly if it's a child, they'll give you, like, I can't remember what they call it in America, but, like, for us it'd be like a housing council. Where I live, it's like a housing council. So you can temporarily stay there until you're safe. You can anonymously call CPS or child hotline, and people guide you through step by step on how to do it if you look far enough into the comments and that. Or people will just give genuine advice of how to, say, if you're 17 and nearly 18, how to deal with the last year there. And I think I might cover it once every 2 to 3 weeks, just so I can see the new stories and what people are going through, and then, like, wager what might be the best way for them to deal with it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys on the next one. Please stay safe. I love you all, and I'll see you guys later.